Life in Bikini Bottom had always been monotonous for me. Squidward tentacles. Day in and day out, I found myself trapped in the confines of the Krusty Krab, enduring the incessant chirping of SpongeBob SquarePants and the insatiable greed of our crustacean boss, Mr.Krabs. But nothing could have prepared me for the horror that would soon unfold. It all started with the whispers, the murmurs of discontent that echoed through the streets of Bikini Bottom. Customers began to complain about the taste of our Krabby Patties. There was also a limited time item that had appeared on the menu. These weird green patties that the customers also said had an awful smell to them. Even so, the customers seemed to devour them. At first, I paid little attention, dismissing their complaints as mere trivialities. But as the days went by, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. Something was undeniably wrong, and I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled over me like a suffocating fog. It was as if a dark shadow had descended upon Bikini Bottom, casting a pall over our once peaceful town. I tried to focus on my art, to lose myself in the soothing melodies of my clarinet, but the disquieting atmosphere permeated every aspect of my life. And then, one fateful day, SpongeBob SquarePants vanished without a trace. At first, I didn't think much of it. After all, SpongeBob had a knack for getting himself into all sorts of trouble. But as the days stretched into weeks, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. It wasn't until I overheard the citizens of Bikini Bottom discussing something in hushed tones that I began to suspect the truth. Their conversation sent shivers down my spine, and I realized with horror the depths of Mr. Krabs' depravity. Using starfish as substitute for crab meat in Krabby Patty's secret formula. The very thought made my stomach churn. How could Mr. Krabs be capable of such cruelty? But by then, it was too late. The citizens of Bikini Bottom had already fallen under the spell of Mr. Krabs' twisted scheme, and there was nothing I could do to stop him. In the end, Mr. Krabs emerged unscathed, his pockets lined with ill-gotten gains, and his reputation untarnished. And as for me, I was left to grapple with the bitter realization that justice was something but a fleeting dream in the twisted world of Bikini Bottom. But amidst the chaos, a grim reminder of our collective guilt emerged on the Krusty Krab's menu. A limited time item known as the Sponge Special. It was a grotesque mockery of the horrors that had unfolded, a sickening testament to the depths of Mr. Krabs' depravity. One evening, as I sat alone in my house, the weight of my fears pressing down upon me like a leaden blanket, I heard a soft knock at the door. With a sense of trepidation, I rose from my seat and made my way to the entrance. Standing on my doorstep was a figure cloaked in shadows, their features obscured by the darkness. My heart skipped a beat as I realized who it was. Mr. Krabs. His eyes gleaming with malice. "You thought you could escape, didn't you, Squidward?" he sneered, his voice low and dangerous. "But you should know by now, no one crosses me and lives to tell the tale." I recoiled in horror, my mind racing with fear. How had Mr. Krabs found me? What did he want from me? I don't know what you're talking about," I stammered, my voice trembling with fear. "I haven't done anything." Mr. Krabs' laughter echoed through the night, sending a chill down my spine. "Oh, but you have, Squidward," he said, his tone dripping with malice. "You've been asking too many questions, poking your nose where it doesn't belong, and now you're going to pay the price." With a sudden surge of fear, I realized the truth. Mr. Krabs had come for me, and there was no escape. As he advanced towards me, his clawed hands outstretched like the talons of a predator, I knew that my worst nightmares were about to come true.